today is July 2nd. I need you to stop what you're doing and just listen. Not with your ears, but with your entire body. Can you feel it? Something is different. It's not in the headlines, not in the noise of the world. It's a subtle shift in the very air you're breathing. A quiet humming beneath the surface of things. You might feel it as a strange tightness in your chest, a sudden moment of piercing clarity, or maybe a profound stillness that descends on you for a split second while everything else rushes by. Don't dismiss this. This is not your imagination playing tricks on you. This is the signal, the universe, reality, your own awareness. They are all deeply intertwined, and today they have clicked into a new alignment. For anyone paying attention, July 2nd feels fundamentally different. You can't quite put words to it, but your bones feel it. Your breath feels it. Your spirit knows it. It's not a feeling of panic, and it's not excitement. It is a deep, unshakable sense of knowing. It's the universe knocking softly on the door of your consciousness. Now, let me tell you the straight truth. The great sign so many have been waiting for has already come, but the vast majority will miss it. Why? Because we have all been programmed to look outside of ourselves for rescue, for a grand spectacle. But the real rapture isn't something that happens us to you. It's something that happens in you. The rapture is that moment you become utterly, totally present. The instant you become fully aware of the energy you are putting out. It's the quiet, chilling realization that time is running out, not for the world, but for your opportunity to wake up on this journey. You have been given a window, a brief, precious opening to step into your own truth. July 2nd doesn't shout, it doesn't need to. But its power is absolute. Its precision is breathtaking. If you managed to be silent for just 5 minutes today, you felt it. A tiny fracture in your usual mental chatter. A moment of pure reality between one thought and the next. This is the energy shift, and that small crack is big enough to change the entire course of your life, if you're willing to pause and honor it. But the world won't wait. Your job, your worries, your phone, they will all continue to scream for your attention. But today, July 2nd, there's a quiet invitation underneath it all. Gentle but clear. You can continue to let the noise drown it out, or you can stop, just for a moment, and ask yourself a hard question. What am I really doing with my precious time, with my mind, with this life force? People always wait for the perfect conditions to start doing their inner work, but the shift didn't wait for you. It's already here. The only question is, are you here with it, or are you lost in the static? Energy shifts don't ask for permission. They don't poll for opinions. They operate on deeper, invisible laws. And one of those laws is that nothing, not this moment, not this clarity, not this opportunity, lasts forever. If you don't use this day, you will lose this day. So, what can you do right now? Be still. It's that simple. Feel the rise and fall of your own breath. Watch the frantic gymnastics of your mind without getting on the mat with it. Take off the mask you wear for the world. Just sit in your own silent truth. You don't need an hour. Start with one single honest moment. Because one moment of radical honesty with yourself is more powerful than a lifetime of pretending. The energy of July 2nd is a clarifying agent. It separates the real from the fake. You may have seen its effects already. The people around you are either more centered than ever or more chaotic. Some are calm, others are spiraling. Some have found a deep sense of peace, others are visibly falling apart. This is the sign. It doesn't come with a trumpet blast. It simply exposes the truth of where everyone is at. It shows you who you really are and what you still have to face. Please, do not wait for another special date. Do not search for another guru. The teaching is happening right now, in your own direct experience. If you missed it this morning, there is still a sliver of time left. But understand me, the window is not wide. It's narrow. You must choose to walk through it consciously today. You don't have to have a plan to fix your entire life. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to become aware. Aware of this breath. Aware of the choices you are making in this very moment. Aware of which direction your feet are taking you. This simple awareness is the seed of all real transformation. The energy of this day isn't here to punish you. It is here to wake you. To pull you back to what truly matters. And what matters is not your list of accomplishments, what's in your bank account, or what you can prove to others. What matters is your ability to stand still in a storm, to stay grounded when the floor is shaking, to remain centered when your mind wants to scatter in 1,000 directions. This is not just a nice idea. This is the most practical skill for living. And today, July 2nd, is your training ground. If you listen, truly listen, your inner guidance is already whispering. If you get quiet, your own breath will lead you back home to presence. If you become aware, this shift in energy will carry you to a deeper way of being. But if you keep running, keep avoiding, keep pretending, the sign will have come and gone, and you will have no idea what you missed. Until one day, much later, the door will have closed. So stop. Right now, just pause. Because today is July 2nd and something is different. Something is calling you, not from the outside, but from deep within. Are you going to answer? Today is July 2nd, and while the world goes about its business, a more significant event is unfolding, not in the sky but right inside your own chest. People have talked about the rapture as if it's some dramatic cosmic evacuation, but they've got it all wrong. The real rapture isn't about disappearing, it's about revealing. It is the moment when everything that is false within you finally begins to crumble. It is the moment you see yourself with stark clarity, without the filters, without the stories, without the carefully constructed lies. On July 2nd, the one true sign is this: something inside you is being exposed. And for those who are truly paying attention, it's impossible to unsee it. The rapture is not an external event, it is an internal exposure. It is a bright light being shown on the corners of your own soul that you have refused to look at for years. It is not here to destroy you, it's here to show you what you've allowed yourself to become. And yes, this is deeply uncomfortable, because most of us have built our lives on illusions, on our job titles, on our relationships, on our achievements, on the mask we show the public. But today, July 2nd, none of that is strong enough to hide the truth. The energy is too sharp, too precise. It's like a blade that cuts straight through illusion. It strips away what is fake. And if you are not ready for it, it will feel like your world is collapsing. But in reality, all that is happening is that which was never real is finally falling away. July 2nd isn't about chaos in the world, it is about confrontation with the self. When those inner walls begin to crack, you finally see the true architecture of your own mind. You see your patterns with brutal honesty. The way you use anger as a shield or distraction as an escape. You start to hear your own true voice, not the one conditioned by society, but the one that was always there, buried deep beneath the noise. This is the rapture, it's exposure, and there is no escape. Many are still waiting for a blockbuster movie scene. Flashing lights, a voice from a cloud, some supernatural intervention. But the ones who know, they know. The real drama is internal. The real event is silence, because when all the external noise finally dies down and you are left completely alone with your own mind, your own truth, your own awareness, that is the moment the shift truly begins. Today, July 2nd, you are being asked one thing: stop running, stop performing, stop hiding. Everything you believe you are is now being put to the test, not by some god or devil, but by your own consciousness. This rapture isn't a verdict, it is an invitation to remember who you were before the world told you who you had to be. But here's the tough part. Most will refuse the invitation because keeping the mask on feels easier, continuing the performance feels safer. But easy is not truth, and truth in the beginning is not comfortable. On July 2nd, comfort is being removed, and in its place is clarity, a raw, undeniable, piercing clarity. The kind of clarity that forces you to be still, the kind that demands deep reflection, the kind that simply will not allow you to lie to yourself anymore. So I ask you, right now, who are you when nobody is looking? Who are you when all the labels are stripped away? Who are you underneath the pride, beneath the fear, behind the stories? The answer to that question is the rapture. The answer, Seb, is the revelation. That is what today offers. Not damnation, but revelation. And that is infinitely more powerful. You may be noticing specific things today, a sudden spike in sensitivity, emotions rising to the surface for no clear reason, old memories appearing, sudden insights that hit you like lightning. This is not a coincidence. This is the exposure. This is your inner system recalibrating to the higher frequency of this day. You are being brought into alignment with your truth. And any part of you that cannot exist in that truth will start to shake. Do not fight it, watch it. Let it come to the surface. And when it does, just breathe. Because your breath is what anchors you in your body while your mind lets go of what's no longer real. If you try to avoid this moment, it will come back later and with more force. But if you sit with it today, if you stay still and allow yourself to feel it all, then the true transformation begins. You don't need a holy place to feel this. You don't need a special guide. All you need is honesty, the raw courage to face what is. Because today, July 2nd, the mirror is perfectly clear. The veil between worlds is paper thin, and your own self is ready to be seen. The only question left is, are you willing to look? We have been conditioned to fear judgment, but the energy of this day is not here to judge you. It is simply here to show you. And once you have been shown the truth, you have a choice. You can try to ignore it and continue sleepwalking, or you can respond to it and begin walking through life with your eyes wide open. The truth is, this day may not feel epic or dramatic on the surface, but its impact will ripple through the rest of your life. Because the real rapture doesn't just happen in a single moment. It begins in a single moment, and then it continues every single day that you choose awareness over avoidance. July 2nd has pulled back the curtain. The rest is your responsibility. Will you try to cover the truth back up with new excuses and distractions, or will you stay present with the discomfort and let it become your greatest teacher? Remember, this exposure is a gift. It is the beginning of genuine freedom. Because when there is nothing left to hide, there is nothing left that can control you. This is the promise of today, not an escape but an awakening, not fear but freedom, not an ending but the true beginning. So be still, breathe deeply into it, and let July 2nd be the day you finally truly saw yourself. Today is July 2nd, the sign has already appeared, but the critical question is not whether the sign came. The real question is, did you notice it? Because the hard truth is that most people did not. And most people will not. Not because the sign is hidden or complicated, it's because the sign is quiet. It whispers, it does not scream. It shows itself only in stillness. And stillness has become a forgotten language for most of humanity. On this July 2nd, the world did not stop spinning. People woke up, instinctively reached for their phones, scrolled through the same feeds, chased the same anxieties, and ran on the same hamster wheel of distraction. And while their minds were frantically busy with the outside world, their inner world remained unvisited, unheard, and unknown. The greatest tragedy of our time is not that truth is unavailable. The tragedy is that we are too chronically distracted to receive it. People say they want signs, but they only want the kind that are loud and violent, like lightning flashes and earthquakes. The real signs, the real rapture, shows up quietly, in the space between two breaths, in a flicker of sudden self-awareness, in an unexpected moment of silence that you didn't plan for. Today, July 7th, was saturated with these moments, but they were missed. People didn't hear the silence because their minds were a storm of noise. They didn't feel the shift because they were too busy running from themselves. You see, the reason most miss the signs is they're looking in the wrong direction. They expect change to be delivered to their doorstep. They're waiting for a booming voice from the heavens, a sudden miracle, an official press release from God. But reality doesn't work like that. Truth never shouts. It only becomes visible when you are ready to see it. And being ready has nothing to do with being perfect. It just means being still, being honest, being willing to stop just for 1 second and simply observe. Today gave everyone that opportunity, but many let it slip away because we have become addicted to motion, to noise, to reaction. We cram every empty moment with something to do, something to watch, something to worry about. We have become terrified of sitting with ourselves. And that is precisely why the most important signs will pass us by. The rapture is not a detonation. It is an exposure. It is the moment when all that is unnecessary begins to fall away from you. But if your entire identity is built on what is unnecessary, then when the real is revealed, you will only feel panic. You will resist, you will run, and you will miss the entire point. On this day, July 2nd, a rare portal opened. A moment of absolute truth, a thinning of the veil, a shift in the energetic field that makes it easier, just for today, to perceive what is real. But the mind has to be calm to see it. And that's the core of the problem. Most people have never trained their minds to be calm. They have not practiced being silent. They have not practiced presence. So when the sign arrives, they lack the equipment to recognize it. It's like trying to see your own reflection in a stormy lake. The reflection is there, but the surface is too agitated. You need still water to see clearly. You need a still mind to recognize a moment like this. Today is not the end of the world, but it is the end of pretending. On July 2nd, what is real stands out in sharp relief, and what is false becomes almost too heavy to carry. This is why so many people feel an unexplained anxiety today. This is why there is a discomfort bubbling up in so many hearts. Not because something is wrong, but because something that is fake is dying, and something that is real is knocking at the door. But here's the crucial part: you have to listen. You have to be the one to pause. Because this sign is not waiting for you to get ready. It has already arrived. Your only job is to slow down enough to receive its message. If you missed it this morning, then stop right now, breathe, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what have I been actively avoiding? What am I terrified of seeing in myself? These questions are the path back to the sign, because the rapture isn't something that pulls you out of the world. It's something that pulls the old layers of illusion off of you. But if you choose to stay in distraction, if you remain in a state of reaction, then you miss this. You miss the clarity, you miss the shift, and then weeks will pass, and you'll be left wondering why nothing in your life feels right. It's because the call came and you weren't home. So do not wait for another July 2nd. Do not expect a louder signal. Do not count on a second chance. The universe does not repeat its most important messages in the way our minds wish it would. It speaks once with perfect clarity. The rest is our responsibility. Today is about awareness. It's about showing you what has been there all along, hidden behind the wall of your own business. The sign came to awaken you, not to entertain you. If you want to see it, you must be present. If you want to receive it, you must be still. Most people miss the great moments of their lives not because they are blind, but because they are distracted. Do not be one of them. Use this day. July 2nd is not just a date, it is an opening, and that opening will not last forever. You still have time, but not much. Sit with yourself, listen without any expectation, feel what is real. That is where the sign is. That is where the truth has been all along. And once you see it, do not look away. Today is July 2nd, and something critically important is happening that most will not grasp. It is not just another day. It is not merely a turn of the calendar. It is a fundamental shift in energy, a shift in the very rules of how life responds to you. On the surface, it might look like business as usual, but underneath, the entire operating system has changed. The old rules no longer apply. One of the most significant changes starting today is the speed of karma. In the past, the law of cause and effect was slow. You could act out of malice or carelessness, and the consequences might not surface for years. You might never even connect the cause to the effect, but that buffer, that delay is gone. As of July 2nd, the velocity of karma has changed. It is now blindingly fast, almost instantaneous. What you send out is what you get back, not in years, but in hours, sometimes in minutes. You think a thought, you feel an emotion, you act on an impulse, and reality, like a perfect mirror, reflects it right back at you, immediately. This is not a punishment. It is a system of profound precision. Life isn't being cruel, it is being brutally honest. July 2nd brings with it an energy of absolute clarity, and with that clarity comes the immediate reflection of your own state of being. If you move through your day to day filled with anger, fear, or judgment, you will watch that energy boomerang back to you, not from some distant cosmic source, but from the people right in front of you, from your own body, from the immediate disturbance of your inner peace. Conversely, if you move with integrity, with love, with presence, you will feel that shift just as quickly. You will see things align with startling speed. You will notice how peace clings to you, how the day seems to flow effortlessly. That is not good luck, it's not a coincidence. That is karma, the great mirror, now responding faster than ever before. That is the new energy of this day, July 2nd. This is why self-awareness is no longer a luxury for the spiritual elite. It is now a mandatory requirement for a functional life. Because every thought, every feeling, every word you utter now carries an immediate and tangible weight. You are creating your reality at a much greater speed. And if you are doing so unconsciously, you will be a victim of your own creations. If you are awake, you will become the master of them. This is the great divide. Before this day, you could get away with hiding your true intentions. You could put on a fake smile. Now, the energy behind the smile is what matters more than the smile itself. People will feel your truth, and the universe will too. You may already be sensing this today. You say something to a friend and they react with unusual intensity. Why? Because the energy you are transmitting is stronger now. The frequency you send out is being received instantly, without a filter. This is the new vibration, and it began today. So, what does this mean for your day-to-day life? It means there is no more room for lying to yourself or to others. There is no more room for self-deception. You can no longer plant seeds of poison and be surprised when you harvest suffering. The feedback loop between cause and effect is now too short. You no longer need a spiritual master to show you your reflection. Your daily life is doing it for you in high definition. If you feel tension in your body or your relationships today, you must ask yourself, what negative energy am I holding on to? What am I projecting out into the world? Because that is precisely what is coming back to you. And if you feel a sense of peace, recognize it, cherish it, understand that you created it. It is a direct sign of your own alignment. July 2nd marks the beginning of a new, more profound level of responsibility, not just for your actions, but for the quality of your inner state. You can no longer afford the indulgence of living on autopilot. You can no longer be careless with your mental and emotional energy. The mirror is too clean, too sharp. Every thought creates an echo. Every emotion forges a path. You must watch them with care. But please, do not be afraid of this. This accelerated change is an incredible gift. It means transformation is faster, healing is faster, spiritual growth is faster. If you are awake and committed, this era will feel like an immense blessing. Inner changes that used to take years of work can now crystallize in a matter of days. But if you continue to live in blame, in reaction, in resistance, then yes, life will feel impossibly heavy, because you are fighting a losing battle against your own reflection. Today, July 2nd, gives you a chance to reset your system, to see what your energy is actually doing in real time. No more hiding, no more waiting. The results of your inner state are already right in front of you. If you want a different result, you must change the input. Purify your intention, slow down your reactions, watch your thoughts, And do not waste your energy trying to change others. They are too busy dealing with their own accelerated karma. Focus on yours. This isn't about control. It is about alignment. If something feels wrong, don't push through it. Step back, reflect, adjust your inner state. Life is not trying to punish you. It is trying to teach you with immediate and undeniable feedback. This is the gift of this time. This is the wisdom of July 2nd. Karma is no longer a distant philosophical concept. It is your immediate reality. And it is giving you real-time data about who you are becoming moment by moment. Use it. Do not fear it. Do not run from it. Align with it. And your entire life will begin to shift before your eyes. Today is July 2nd, and karma is speaking louder than ever before. Are you listening? Today is July 2nd, and on this day so many people are still waiting for someone to come and save them. A great teacher, a perfect leader, a new political system, a flawless world. But I am here to tell you the truth: no one is coming. No one is going to rescue you from the labyrinth of your own mind. The age of waiting is over. The time for searching outside of yourself has expired. The answer has always been inside. And on this day, July 2nd, the energy itself is compelling you to finally look there. The only path forward now is the path inward. This is the great message of our time, made clearer than ever today. The noise of the external world will only continue to grow. The distractions will multiply. The fire hose of information will only get stronger. But truth will not be found in more. It will only ever be found in less noise, less talking, less chasing. The only true salvation now is your own inner work. You can call it meditation or self-reflection or breath work or just silence. The label does not matter. What matters is the practice. A daily, consistent, honest practice. This is no longer a spiritual hobby. It has become a matter of survival. Not just physical survival, but mental, emotional, and spiritual survival. If you are not actively practicing inner stillness in these times, you are getting swept away by the current. Slowly but surely, July 2nd did not arrive to frighten you. It came to shake you awake to this non-negotiable reality. The outer world is in many ways unstable. Old systems are failing. People are fearful. Emotions are volatile. But those who are anchored in themselves will not be swept away. And that kind of profound stability does not come from the news or from governments or from charismatic gurus. It comes from within. You cannot buy it, you cannot borrow it. You must build it yourself, brick by brick, breath by breath. Look at yourself with unflinching honesty. Today, July 2nd, is a perfect mirror. It is showing you every place where you are still dependent on the external world to make you feel safe, to make you feel worthy, to make you feel whole. And the more you depend on the outside, the more you will suffer. Because the outside world is, by its very nature, unstable. It always has been. Peace was never meant to be found out there. Peace is a decision you make inside, over and over and over again. When the world gets loud, you must choose to become quiet. When people around you are reactive, you must choose to remain still. When the future feels uncertain, you must choose to return to the certainty of this single moment. This is the inner path, and it is the only path that will lead to sanity from here on out. Not because I said so, but because life itself is now demonstrating it to you with undeniable clarity. You are not being punished, you are being reminded. Reminded that the true center of your universe must be your own awareness, not your career, not your phone, not your public image. Your awareness, that quiet, calm, watching presence inside you, is your only true anchor. And the stronger your connection to it, the less the storms of the world can pull you away from your true self. People are asking, so what should I invest my energy? What problem should I fix? But all of that is secondary. The first and most essential step is to go within, to sit, to breathe, to observe, and then to do it again tomorrow, and the day after, until it is no longer a chore you have to do, but simply the way that you are. You will not find peace by overthinking. You will not find clarity by complaining. You will not find the answers by running from yourself. July 2nd is a giant stop sign. Stop running, stop talking so much, stop reaching outside for what can only be found inside. Even if the world grows more chaotic, you have the power to become more calm. That is your superpower. That is your sacred responsibility. But it does not happen by accident. It happens through discipline, through repetition, through the conscious choice to return again and again to the sanctuary of your own stillness, especially on the days you don't feel like it. You will have days when it's hard, days when your mind is a raging storm, when your emotions are screaming, when your body feels like a prison. But those are the most important days to practice. Because your peace is not proven when everything is easy. Your peace is forged when everything is hard, and you still choose to come back to your center. July 2nd is an invitation, it's a reminder, it's a signal. The world will offer you 1,000 different paths, but only one leads to real freedom, the inner path. the path of honesty, of observation, of alignment with your own soul. And this path is not glamorous, it is not loud, it is profoundly quiet, and because of this, most people will ignore it. But those who choose to walk it will find something the world can never give them and can never take away: a peace that cannot be shaken, a clarity that cannot be confused, and a strength that comes from within. And so today, do not ask who is coming to save you. Ask yourself, how deeply am I willing to save myself from my own distractions, my own illusions, and my own fears? Everything you have ever needed is already inside of you, but you must become quiet enough to access it. You must become still enough to hear it. And July 2nd is the perfect day to begin, because today, the energy of the universe supports this inward shift. The noise of the world is rising, but so is the opportunity to rise above it, from the inside out. So sit, breathe, practice. Let this be the day you start walking your real path. Not the path of reacting to the world, but the path of mastering yourself. Not the path of escape, but the path of presence. No one is coming, because no one needs to. You are already here. Today is July 2nd, and this day is not just a date on the calendar, it is a final reminder. A gentle but firm signal: time is running out. For years, you have heard the message in one form or another: wake up. But maybe you ignored it. You were too busy, too distracted, too afraid of what you might find if you actually looked at yourself. But now, the message can no longer be pushed aside. The door is still open, but you must understand that it is not wide. It is a narrow gate, and it is closing. On July 2nd, the universe is offering a last, best moment of clarity, a chance to shift, a chance to realign. But this is not something you can add to your to-do list for next week. You cannot say, I'll start on this tomorrow, because the energetic tide has already turned. The opportunity is right here, right now. And every moment you wait, it becomes harder to respond. Many of us operate under the dangerous illusion that we have infinite time, that we can continue with our numbing habits, our destructive patterns, our unconscious living, and then just change later. But July 2nd is here to reveal an uncomfortable truth: later might not exist. The only time to act is now, today, in this moment. When you ignore these internal signals, you start to feel a strange weight, a background hum of anxiety with no obvious cause. You feel restless, confused, disconnected from yourself and from life. This is not a random mood swing. This is your soul telling you that you are living out of alignment with your own truth. And on a day like July 2nd, that feeling of misalignment becomes sharp and undeniable, because the energy is so strong, it is trying to pull you toward your truth. And if you resist that pull, it manifests as pain. The reason the door is closing is not an act of cosmic cruelty. It is simply because truth is always moving forward. It doesn't wait for anyone. It flows like a great river. And if you don't step into the current now, you will be left on the shore, waiting for the next cycle. And that next cycle will not be this easy, because the longer you ignore the quiet call of your own spirit, the louder the call must become. And often, that louder call shows up in our lives as crisis, as breakdown, as chaos, anything to get your attention. But today is not about crisis. It is about opportunity. It is a day drenched in light. But you can only access it if you are willing to face your own shadows. If you are willing to look at what is actually real inside of you. Not the persona you show to others, not the curated life you post online, not the person you pretend to be, but who you are when there is absolutely no one left to impress. If you are feeling resistance today, that resistance is the sign. If you feel emotionally raw, uncomfortable, or unusually sensitive, that is the signal. Your entire being is asking for a change, and you have a simple choice: listen to it, or try to numb it. But the choice you make today has amplified consequences. Small decisions today create massive shifts in trajectory. One more step in the wrong direction can lock in a habit, but one single step in the right direction can set you on an entirely new path. July 2nd is offering you that new path. It's quiet, it's clear, and it's honest. It doesn't promise you comfort. It promises you growth. It promises you depth. But you are the one who has to walk it. Nobody can do it for you. This is not about trying to be perfect. It is not about fixing your whole life by midnight. It is simply about showing up for yourself. It's about pausing, reflecting, and saying to your own soul, I hear you. I've been asleep, but now I choose to wake up. That single moment of decision is the doorway. That spark of awareness is the opening. You still have time today, but not much. The longer you hesitate, the more the world will pull you back into its vortex of distraction, of reaction, of unconsciousness. And the realm of the unconscious is a dangerous place to be right now, because this new, sharp energy does not support avoidance. It does not reward spiritual laziness. It simply magnifies what you truly are, not what you pretend to be. So be honest with yourself. Are you really listening? Are you truly present? Or are you still telling yourself the same old excuses? On July 2nd, the time for excuses is over. The time for pretending you didn't hear the call has passed. The call is here, and it's loud and clear in the silence. It isn't coming from outside, it's coming from inside you, from your body, from your breath, from your own quiet awareness, all asking the same simple question: are you ready? There will be those who scoff at this, who call it fear-mongering or fantasy. Let them talk, let them sleep. Their path is their own. But you, if you are still with me, it's because something deep inside you already knows this is true. You have felt the shift. You have sensed the urgency. You have heard that quiet voice in your own heart whisper, please, it's time. Do not wait for life to get louder. It will. And when it does, it might not be this gentle. Because when you ignore a soft knock on the door, life eventually comes back with a rock. And if that doesn't work, it kicks the door down. Not to punish you, but to wake you up. But you do not have to wait for that. You don't need to learn through pain. You can choose to learn through presence. You can choose reflection. You can choose silence. That is the peaceful shift July 2nd is offering if you are willing to receive it. So pause right now. Ask yourself, what am I still clinging to that I know I must release? What am I still avoiding that I know I must face? What truth have I buried so deep that it is now clawing its way to the surface? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. Because once that narrow door closes, it becomes much, much harder to find it again. Not impossible, just harder. And you deserve ease. You deserve alignment. You deserve clarity. But you must choose it now. July 2nd is today, and today is the day you must return to yourself. The window is open, but not for long. Step through it, not with fear, but with presence. Not with panic, but with purpose. Because the truth is, this is your moment.